Well, I started to work on the vertical drawer dividers. So this is the center drawer blade, and it's the one where the divider goes straight through it, and then it's dovetailed on the top and the bottom into the apron. So this joint, this is about 1 inch, and that's about the 3/4, because the whole thing is obviously 1 3/4 inches. So just a matter of chopping them out. They're straight through, so it's pretty easy to do after sawing them. So I'll just pare them out here, and then we'll be ready for fitting. I hope they fit. Well, I'm fitting the vertical drawer dividers now, and you saw me a little bit ago cutting out the mortise between these two pieces here so they could slide together. And I cut off the, they were full dovetails. I cut it all off except for 3/4 of an inch here. So now I can use my marking knife to mark where the dovetails socket should be on the top blade as well as the apron down here, and make sure that I got them square, which I'm using this little machinist square here to make sure that they're nice and straight before this one is not nice and straight. There we are. So I got to make sure they're squared up before I go and cut the dovetails. So that's the next step. Well, I'm chopping out the dovetails now, sockets, for the vertical dividers. And it goes something like that. So these ultimately will slide in to the this is the top, and then the apron is down here. So that's what I'm working on. Well, this is a bit of tedious part of the cabinet making, putting together all the drawer runners. So what I've done is that we need a drawer runner and divider up here, and of course down there as well. So I've measured it, and I put on tenons onto the front and back of this piece, which gives me 3/4 here, 3/4 here, and 3/4 in the middle. And so now I've got to put mortises in the back here of the drawer blades, and then of course in the back of the cabinet so that it fits. So these are perhaps the more complicated. There's two that go up here, and those are kickers, so that the top drawers, the three, don't tip and hit the underside of the top. And then there are side runners, which are here. I have to put together yet, but we'll take this one out, and I'll do it on this side. So they go in here, and then this piece slides in to create the drawer runner. So you have a bottom guide and then a side guide there. And these are nailed to the side, since the grain of these run parallel to the grain on the side. There's no problem nailing them to the side there. I might add some glue to it as well. So, and those can be put in any time after the case has been glued up. But the ones that are mortise, of course, have to be put in at the time we glue up the assembly. Well, I'm laying out the mortises for the drawer runners, front and back. And as usual, I have a story stick. So it's marked on the side here where the mortises should be, and this stick is as wide as the mortises should be. So it's just a matter of lining it up square with the top, and then marking the edges here. And I'll do that for both sides. These mortises I can take and drill with the hollow chisel mortiser. The back, however, is too large for the hollow chisel mortiser. And again, the reason for making a story stick is because you want them to be exact, using the top as a reference point. The two tops are equal, and they have to be the same from the side, either side, and then top to bottom they have to be the same so that the runners are square going straight back. But these I'll have to chop out by hand. Not particularly difficult since this is pine. You just have to be careful not to make them too wide. So I'm working on the mortises here for the drawer runners in the back. So you can see I have a number of them already chopped out. And they're 3/8 of an inch deep. And it's fairly easy to chop them out. The pine is so soft. This is eastern white pine. And I'm just using a couple of bench chisels here. I had the mortising chisel out here before, but it was a little bit strong. And made a rough mortise, so I'm using a bench chisel here. So they're 3/8 of an inch deep. And as you can see, we got a ways to go for that one, but it won't be long. Well, I've dry fitted the drawer runners here that you saw me cutting the mortises for in the previous video. So I've got 2 kickers up here and the 4 center drawer runner sets here. And then the side ones are glued together, but they'll be fitted and glued and nailed into the side here, but I won't do that until after I glue and assemble the chest. So pretty much it's complete, and I need to drill 2 holes here for the drop finials. And while I had it apart, I bandsawed the double OG sides over here. You can see. So other than sanding and drilling those holes, I'm done with the case. So once I get that done, then we'll begin to concentrate on the drawer fronts.